The gender roles that have shaped you. Hello, welcome to Signpost for Living with Dr. Kirsten Hunter. Hello, Kristen Coggan, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good. We were a bit heavy last time. Let's lighten it up a bit.
Okay.
Is that all good?
Yes.
All right. I am truly fascinated by gender roles.
Okay.
So gender roles obviously are, when you look at, it is gender, male and female gender, and we all have our masculinity and our femininity within us, but I think it's actually just role models, really.
Do you?
Well, gender's in there as well, well and truly, but it's very much role models, and maybe gender just happened to be aligned with that. And I think it's really fascinating to work out what has shaped us, maybe launching into life, because then life shapes us more, and also with our children, what are we shaping with our gender?
I often think
modelling?
that, or wonder that.
Fascinating. And also, what assumptions do we have about gender? Because we actually live out those assumptions, which is fascinating. And so we're kind of this middle person. You know what I mean? We've been shaped, and then we continue to shape. So, wow.
Okay.
Bang. Open. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, as you know, we've got 5 boys, so I don't have a daughter to do the gender shaping. But what I am teaching them is that women are capable and that gender doesn't play a role with regard to who has a voice in the home and who is capable and, valued. So I'm definitely giving them a very strong, healthy view of women. And I've noticed that when some of them have had friends and girlfriends and they have had a kind of damsel quality to them, my boys haven't really admired that too much.
Well, there's not much damsel in you, really, is there? So.
No, they kind of look, I've watched it, they look at it and go, what are you doing? What's that about? Are you expecting someone to save you? How about you save yourself?
Love it.
And I'm thinking, yeah, that's great. So I've seen that. But, it's very interesting, isn't it?
It is.
What are your thoughts so far?
My thoughts are going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I'm trying to think what shaped me. Okay, so here's one for you.
Yeah.
I am very much like I'm a girl, and I'm very independent, and well, you know me, that I do what I want to do and do it the way I want to do it most of the time. I'm very considerate of others, but there's no stopping me. I can do a little damsel every now and again.
Well,
if there's a snake in the kitchen or something, I'm quite happy to go.
I think most men and women would be damsels in that one, and that's called intelligence.
Okay, righto.
Because if you go and be a hero, then you probably are not.
Yes.
Listening to the manual of don't go near a snake.
But my son, who I always talk about on this, and I know he listens to these too. So
hi, gorgeous. Love you. He knows I love him.
He does. Yeah. He does. And he's a great kid. But sometimes he can be really misogynistic. I don't know, that like just really that male superiority thing can just ooze out of his pores every now and again. And I think, where the hell did you get that from?
Well, I hate to say it, but he grew up in the rural sector. Yeah. There is a bit of that.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's... And I tried to slap it out of him. And
figuratively, everyone.
But yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, so that's where I'm thinking, like the shaping. And I've got a daughter as well who I've really impressed upon all her life that she needs to be strong and independent and in control of her own destiny and not be reliant on anybody else, whether that's male, female, whatever.
Yep.
I've really tried to, and I think I've got there with her. Like, she's probably maybe a little bit too much.
It's a good starting point.
But she knows what she wants and she will go for it, and she doesn't give two hoots about that sort of that gendered role model thing. It makes no difference to her whatsoever.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I know that from my childhood, I really value that feminine characteristic of being very nurturing, very empathic, and being a safe space, because I really got that from my mum. I was always loved, and she always, believed in me, and that's probably the biggest gift she's ever given me. And
Hi, Jen.
Yes, gorgeous. And I think that, we take what we had and then we climb further, don't we?
Yes.
And so I think in my female or feminine, but also my masculine part of me, I really admire and really enjoy the guidance that you can bring to your children.
Yes.
The scaffolding, being that think tank, giving them absolutely the freedom and the scope to explore who they are, but really having it as kind of a, we're here to kind of nurture you through that.
I want my kids to know that I'm the safe place.
Yeah.
And
that guidance, that support and guidance, and not to feel alone in that. And I think I probably wish I had that from a father figure, which I didn't have at all. I was completely nothing there. So I think what I didn't have as a father figure, I've instilled in myself, I guess.
Okay, yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I get quite baffled if one of the kids has kind of come to a big punchline without talking it through beforehand, even though they completely own that process. Because I just want to check that they're okay. And yeah, so it's really interesting. And, if you think about masculinity and femininity, I think we've spoken about once, femininity is very much that nurturance and that safe space and communication. And the masculinity is about being very goal-directed, creation, building, that kind of expansion. And so both parts are so important.
Yes.
And no gender owns either.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it is. My brain's thinking of lots of things at the moment.
And I know that as a young woman and all through my life, I've actually looked for other female role models who have been people who have just known their own space, known their own person. I know when you and I first met, I was profoundly drawn to you because you had your own sense of yourself.
Did I?
Absolutely. You
Really?
still do. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. No, but you've always had a real sense of who you are, your own voice, your own values, your own opinions. You're a strong personality without being dominating.
Thank you. And I'm pleased we've got that recorded because I'm just going to play that for a lot of people over the next couple of weeks.
It's true. It's heartfelt. It's completely true. I've never told you. Should have told you. That's why you're here.
There you go. Because I do get comments.
I haven't asked anyone else to come and do this, have I?
No.
Only you.
No, that's right.
There you go.
Because I have had sometimes probably in my professional life, people sort of say to me, oh, you can be quite intimidating, you're a little bit scary or you're a little bit, and I think, and I explain to them, I'm not. I'm actually just straight down the line and I don't muck about. And that doesn't mean I'm mean or nasty or not empathetic or caring or supportive.
Yeah.
It just means I don't sugarcoat shit and we don't have time to waste.
Love it.
And I guess that comes across as being...
Well, I've never found you to be remotely intimidating. I've just found you to be having beautiful momentum. And really.
Again, so pleased it's being recorded.
But I want to say this on there. This is pretty cool. As you know, I wrote a cabaret, which is like
yes, you did.
A musical kind of thing with well-known music, and it toured around southeast Queensland. And we were out in Chinchilla.
Yes, I know it well.
Do you? And and it was a really great tour, and it was wonderful. I'm exhausted, but it was great. And anyway, we're in Chinchilla, and this lady comes up to me and she said, I know your voice. She didn't know my face, but I know your voice. And I said, okay. And she said, do you do podcasts? And I said, yes. And she said, oh, you're that person. I said, yes, excellent, how great. And then I said, so which ones do you like the best? And she said, oh, the one that you do with your friend Kristen.
Ah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And she said,
She probably knows me.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. And I asked, and I said, are you Kristen's friend? Did she pay you to say this? No. And she said, no, I just really love your banter between you. Yeah.
See, isn't that lovely?
She said she goes straight for those. So there you go. Hello out there in Chinchilla. I didn't catch your name, but...
no. She's like my neighbour because I was at Condamine.
Gorgeous. No, she didn't know you.
So there you go.
There you go.
That's funny.
All right, my darling. Well,
yes?
thank you so much. If you want to catch me online, I've got a website, kirstenhunterauthor.com, has everything on it. Facebook and Instagram, Kirsten Hunter Author. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
As ever, very
So much
interesting
fun.
conversation. There you go. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.